Hey folks, I'm Beanie81 and this is Final Fantasy VIII. I've not done anything since last episode. I've just moved towards the location that we're heading towards. I figured I'd cut out any unnecessary battles, but didn't have any anyhow. Here we are, however, at the Fire Cavern. Okay, junctioning magic. Now pay attention. I'll be explaining how to utilise the magic you've stocked. I've not stocked any, so that'll be a bit of trouble. This is basically the core of how to succeed in Final Fantasy VIII, so I'm going to keep this in. As I said before, I'm not going to keep every tutorial in, but I generally believe that this is pretty much the basics of how to survive this game, so we'll go for it. Junctioning magic. By junctioning magic, you can raise the character's stats. If the GF has learned the ability to junction onto stats, that particular stat will be displayed in white. By selecting junction here, the GF and magic commands will appear. You are able to junction magic by selecting magic. When magic is selected, a list of magic appears. Use the cursor to select which stat to junction. When strength is selected, choose a magic with the cursor. You can see how the stat value changes with each magic. By the way, I have none of those magics, I'm pretty sure. When a magic is selected, pardon me, the magic will be displayed next to the stat, and the value will change. Only one magic can be assigned to each stat. However, there is no need to junction magic manually, one by one. Select Auto after junctioning. Auto junctions magic automatically. There are 3 commands to choose from. Attack favours strength, Mage favours magic, and defense favours raising HP. Thus, magic can be junctioned easily by using auto. For example, let's select the attack junction. Magic has been junctioned to favour strength. This concludes the magic junction tutorial. When you draw a new magic, try experimenting with it. When you junction, this is how you become stronger. Okay, ready to go? Oh, you know how to use your gunblade. I already know. That's another tutorial, I'm not going to bother with that one. Oh, okay, I was just concerned, that's all. Alright, let's go. Also, it seems a bit of an odd question to ask somebody who you've already been in battle with. You do know how to use that gunblade, right? That's just insulting, you know. Anyhow, first off, before we do anything, one thing I forgot last episode is we can go to this screen to see our GFs, and once we go on them, they have a load of abilities they learn. Each combat gives them ability points that go towards these, and some magic is pretty much the most useless for me since I don't summon them in combat that much. Card, considering what I've said before, I'm going to be trying to collect all cards, is very useful, but I'm a bit unsure here. It's got magic junction already. I could go with HP junction, which would basically allow me to raise some of these HP easily, but I don't have much magic yet, and I'm not going to have much magic for a while. So I think instead I'm going to go with this, Thunder Magic Refine. Actually no, I'm going to go with Card for now. This is basically another ability I can use in combat that, if a creature's weakened enough, I can turn it into a card. Okay, Shiva. Hers is easy. Strength junction. This basically means I can junction magic to strength, as it says up there. And that's why I have Shiva attached to Squall. As far as I know, Squall is the most powerful character you can have, and you can junction his strength to make him ridiculous, especially when you bring out his limit break, which is a special attack. When he's near to death, he'll have more chance of using. Objective: to obtain a low-level GF, a seed member must support. Are you ready? Yes. I'm ready. I'm his support. Instructor number 14 quits his trait. Select a time limit. Choose one suited to your abilities. Challenging yet reasonable. I'm gonna go with 20 minutes. Very well. Good luck. Now, this 20 minutes time limit, how we work that is very important to something later on. My job is to support you in battle. Everything else is up to you. Fine. You know, the boys often choke on this test when I come with them. I guess my charm makes them nervous. Whatever. I'm just kidding. Trying to keep you relaxed, that's all. She looks like she's still... yeah, basically what I was saying is, there's a point later on where a lot of almost seemingly benign things from early on in the game are taken into account. It's really cleverly done, actually, I think. I'll have each attacker one of these bats, and wow, he did less damage. I think Quitsys must have critted there. Although I can't remember if they actually can crit in this game. I know, obviously, Squall can with his trigger, but I don't think anybody else can. Either way, what I was saying is, and this time limit is taking into account the close. It's not. It doesn't take into account which time limit we choose. It takes into account how close you are to 0 without going over it, without going past it. So basically, how well you take into account your own abilities. Also, this thing here I've just found, if you have the draw ability on anybody's command list, then they're able to use those, and basically they get a certain amount of magic. It's always the same type of magic from each draw point, and they'll restock eventually, but you can find them all over the world. Later on we'll be able to find them in the outside world as well, as in buildings and stuff, and towns and all that. Also, these things, bombs, are a nightmare in any Final Fantasy game. They can be deadly. In fact, I might have to use... yeah, I might actually pull out a GF and show you guys a bit of Guardian Force awesomeness. As I said before, I don't often use these in combats, but, you know, why not? And I'll admit, early game, I'll use them more than I will late game. Here we go. No, still. You'll notice every time somebody attacks, those bars on the right, which are basically they tell you when the turn is. They stop, and basically the attack goes through. There we go. Pretty. You may also notice that those fiery red bomb things are slightly weak to ice, so that's killed them all. Nicely done, Shiva. An M stone piece. Those things that I'm picking up, by the way, you may have noticed them in the last battle as well. Basically, you can use them for... you can refine them into the basic magics. There's 3 levels of those items, each one referring to one of the 3 levels of magic, which we'll come across later. I'll explain later as it comes up. For now, let's just take on this Buell, and... well, it'll take 2 hits, I think. Bit of an odd creature, really. There's a lot of very odd... you can always tell when a game is Western or Eastern. They're like such a different design. It's, you know, even just simple things like goblins are very different in Japanese style adventures than they are in Western. You may notice I'm killing a little time here because I know that it's not going to take me 15 minutes to beat the boss of this area. So I am killing a little time just wandering around fighting. It's a good chance to train as well. I think it's been a while since I've played this, but I think I should be able to take the boss within 10 minutes. So I'm going to wait until it gets to 10 minutes before I trigger the boss. I could really use bringing some scan magic actually. That'd have made no sense, but hey. It's alright, I'm not going to perfect this anyhow, I'll say now, so... just to cover my arse. I don't have complete faith in my own ability. As I said in the episode 0, actually, I haven't even completed this game properly, so... I guess I was right. You and Cypher are in a class of your own. Ah! Okay. That was timed, I didn't actually press the button there. Okay, this is it. Are you ready? You seem confident enough. I didn't wait till 10 minutes, did I? But well, I think I decided that I'm not going to perfect the thing that I was talking about. Okay, you can attack, and you can use Shiva. Let's see what you've got. Her attack is pretty much going to be useless compared to Squall's use of Shiva, so I'll focus her on drawing a bit of his magic, I think. It's not going to hurt. One thing I will say, actually, I've not mentioned yet, is I do have a walkthrough in front of me. That's because this is an incredibly large game, and I can't remember everything in it. There's no chance. I'm sure people out there can, and congrats to them. I'm just, you know, I know most of it, and I'm trying to do a 100% run of it, trying to do it perfectly. There's some things you have to do in very specific order, or you'll miss out on some very nice things, which I want to show off to you guys. So I'll be using this guide. I've already pretty much planned out what I need to do. One sec. Sorry, I had a little dog scratching up the door there. Let's cast Scan on him. This way I may actually be able to take it up to close to 0. Fire GF uses fire magic to strike opponent, but as it's part of the Garden's exam, not impossible to defeat. I didn't actually see its health there. That was a bit stupid. Sorry, I forget how the scan worked, so I'll have another scan on my turn. I love this music. I have a friend who I used to play the Fantasy VIII soundtrack during roleplay sessions, because it really does work. If there's any GMs out there that are looking for a soundtrack, it's one I could really recommend for it. But I had to kind of stop playing, because every time a new song comes on, that player just look at it and just name that song, completely interrupting flow, but always right. 656 out of 1,000, so okay. He's still got a few uses of Shiva left. 656 he's on. I'm also going to cure Squall, because he's looking a little weak. Although Shiva will take any hits for him while he's summoning them. Wow. That was pretty pathetic 53. Take 180. It's going to be about 460. So I've got another 2 uses of Shiva, or 3 uses of Shiva until he's down, I think. So I think if Squall attacks with Shiva twice more, let's stock some cures. It's always a good idea. I'm sorry about the do-do-do-do-do, but it's such a catchy tune. I've got to say, the guy who wrote the music for Fantasy VIII, he is a musical genius. He really is, at least in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not the kind of guy who can just sit at home and listen to non-lyrical music like this, but fantasy music is one that I really do enjoy. Draw again. She needs to cure Squall a bit, I think. Yes, she does need to cure Squall a bit. In fact, considering we're trying to waste a bit of time, Squall, she just cured him for his full health. Never mind. My incredible vocals there again. You can tell when I'm running out of things to say. I'll just sing along with the non-sing-alongable music for a bit. And sing-alongable is an awesome word. Okay, one more hit from Shiva and he should go down. So, I'm going to focus those two on drawing magic for a bit, just until the 5-minute mark. I don't want to go too much past that, because if I do, it is possible that I'll mess up a bit. I've not got, as I said before, I've not got the greatest amount of confidence in myself. I do plan later on just grinding out a load of draws on creatures in the wilderness, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I think it'll be better once I've got a full party, which, well, I'm not going to, I won't spoil anything. Depending on how soon that'll be, but it's obviously it's not going to be too much later. That wasn't even on tune, there was it? Sorry if it's a bit boring, folks. Most bosses won't be like this. The only reason I'm doing this on this guy is because, well, as I said before, I think this is the only boss where that thing I was saying before is taken into account. But I will, yeah, this is the only boss I should be wasting time on. But 2.5 minutes, and then oh, we're done. Honest. I think I hope you folks are enjoying this Let's Play. I'm running out of things to say, as may be obvious, but I think it's just because I'm kind of in this fight. Just wasting time and so on. But I can always do-dee-da instead of speaking, as would seem. You've got to wonder what this big boss this thing, Ifrit, is thinking. You know, just fighting these two, and they're just stood there, they're taking him down. He's almost dead, and suddenly just stop attacking and start drawing his magic. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Finish me off! What? Oh. I'll just sit here and be somewhat, well, I was going to say somewhat pathetic, but he's still getting some nasty attacks off, which actually I think he's getting his most powerful attack off a few more times than usual, which seems is the case with most bosses. The weaker they are, the more likely they are to do their big attacks. And I think his most powerful one is the one where he jumps in the air and then comes down and slams somebody. Ow. No, that's not a cure. Everyone's curing. It's rude. Okay, I think I'll get them both to cure themselves, and then Squall can get another Shiva or two off, and that should finish it. I think this is pretty much as close as we're going to get, without being stupid. Okay, go Shiva. Or at least get ready to be summoned. Her health is low. I think Ifrit must have hit her a few times whilst I was summoning her. May as well stop another cure if he survives this. At most, it's going to take 2 Shivas. This one may even finish him off. I underestimated Shiva. Very well, I will join you. Okay, confirm. He will be called Ifrit. There isn't much time, but let me go over this real quick. Good, you got yourself a GF. If you junction that GF, you'll be able to use the LMJ ability. Here's an explanation on elements. I'll go over this myself rather than let her waste time on it. There's a lot of fire elemental monsters here, so junction Blizzard to your element attack. You'll have an easier time with fire elemental enemies. Okay. I've not got Blizzard, so I'm not going to bother following that advice. And it's a Buell. You may notice the time has gone now. Ifrit was the target, the objective, so now we can literally take as long as we want to get out of the fire cave. I'm not going to take too long. I'm not going to waste time in here though. There's nothing in here of interest now. Ifrit is the only thing we care about in here. Ooh, achievement unlocked there. Can tell I'm playing it on Steam. Okay. Not all GFs we unlock will be unlocked through battle. A few are. There are a good few more of them that we can unlock through battling them. Others are actually held by bosses and we have to draw them. There's an example of that coming up somewhat soon within the next few episodes, I'd say. I don't know why, but I really like the idea of a gunblade. Kind of slamming it in and then pulling the trigger to kind of push it out, so to speak. I don't know. It's an awesome idea for a weapon. Although it does seem that, at least in Final Fantasy VIII, it seems that it focuses on the blade part much more than the gun. I don't know what they kind of thought the range of it would be, but more things to fight. If we wanted to, we could just spend some time in here. Oh, almost had Squall attack himself. We could just spend some time in here grinding the M-stone pieces, which are useful, but I'm not really that bothered about doing that. There's better ways to get them, and considering they only use for them, there's better ways to. Well, there's other ways to get what we'd be getting from the M-stones. Doodaloo. Red Bat's card. Oh, we've got another card there. I think, actually, did we get... When we beat Ifrit, I wasn't really looking. Oh, actually, one thing we should do. Doodaloo, let's put on... He has Strength Junction automatically. I forgot about that. Let's put Strength plus 20% as his learning ability. But yeah, I think, did we get... when we beat him, we should have... Yes, here we go. An Ifrit card. I'll explain what those numbers and stuff mean later, once we actually start playing some games. If I was to play now, though, him being my only good card, I'd more than likely lose him, as he'd be the only strong point, so I'm going to hold off until I've got a few other decent cards. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to junction Squall with Ifrit. Nothing really extra to... Oh, actually, yeah, there is something I want to add in his abilities. We'll have an item instead of GF, shall we? As a kid, I always used to use the GFs constantly, but over the last decade or so, I've found that it's a lot easier to just junction your characters well and focus on other tactics. Not saying that GFs aren't a good tactic. I'm sure there's ways to do a lot more with GFs than I've done with them. I just prefer my method, personally. And in fact, I think I did watch a Let's Play of this, in which they used the GF to very good ability. Doodaloo. And there is ways you can stack them to increase their power pretty damn well. Either way, here we are, exiting the Fire Cavern. And the two guards are gone. But I assume that's just because it's a much less dangerous place now that Ifrit isn't in there. Anyhow, now we are to head back to Balamb Garden, which is just over there. However, I think this is as good a place as any to call it now, folks. I've been Beanie81, this has been Final Fantasy VIII, and again, I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm loving it, and I'm not going to stop playing and recording for a good hour or two yet. I really am enjoying it. But anyhow, I'll see you next episode, folks.